Hello, I'm Bob Stafford, and I'm the creator and co-founder of FundMatchr. And I'm here today with Zeph Harbin, and he is the Chief Technical Officer of VolunteerMatch.org, a 501c3 charity whose goal it is to increase volunteering efforts.
Connect good people and good causes.
Good people and good causes, great, and we'd like to do the same. Thanks for meeting with me.
Sure.
And so I'd like to tell you a little bit about our project and our idea and find out if it's something that might be of interest to you and your company.
Okay.
So basically, what we are is, or plan to be, is a fundraising facilitator and instigator. And the tack we're taking is we'd like to instigate giving on a small scale in a massive way. So right now, most charitable giving, or let me go beyond that. Actually, most charitable giving in the United States, 72% of charitable giving in the United States is by individuals. Now, when we think of fundraisers, we hear a lot about matching funds, matching grants, where you're given a chance to have your donation double. So if you only have $100 or $50, you give that amount and it doubles because somebody, a foundation or institution, put up thousands or tens of thousands of dollars to create that grant. Last month I was sitting at home and going over what charities I'd like to give to, and I was going through my spam folder at the same time, which I check about once a month, and I noticed that there was an email from one of my favorite charities that was all about a matching grant. Unfortunately, it had expired and I hadn't noticed it because it had gone to my spam folder, and it really made me think. It made me upset. It made me think, well, now my donation is just going to be my donation. It could have been twice as much. And that brought about this idea of, why can't I create a matching fund with my small scale, with my $200? Why can't I say, hey, I'm going to put my $200 up for this cause that matters, and put that out to my friends, my family, through my social networks, and instigate them to match a cause that's important to me, and take my $200 and turn $400 or possibly more. And that's how I came up with the idea of FundMatchr. And so the idea is that instead of big institutions and foundations and corporations putting up these matches, that any individual can decide to put up a match like this. I'd like to give you a couple statistics. Sure. If that's okay. And they're about the amount of giving. And these statistics were put together by Giving USA, and they're for 2012. And it's total giving to charitable organizations in 2012 was $316 billion, 2% of GDP. Now, 72% of that came from individuals. But when we hear about those matching grants, it's all from foundations and corporations. Together, foundations and corporations only account for 10.4% of all giving. And so what we'd like to do at FundMatchr is be able to use people's social networks, let anybody, any individual, set up a matching grant for an amount as low as $100. I could set up a matching grant and decide what social networks I was going to send that out to, with a note explaining what I was doing, why I was doing it, what cause I want to give to, and why it's important to me. And we think by doing this that we're going to just create lots of giving that never existed before, lots of small scale giving, where a foundation putting up thousands of dollars may attract somebody like me putting up $100. By me putting up $200, I'm going to be able to attract friends and family that may only be able to put up $5, $10, $20, $50. So we're taking advantage of this untapped market of givers that, you know, if I only have $10, $15 to give, I might not go out and do it. But if I see that that's going to be doubled, and if I see a friend of mine is really passionate about that cause, I think that's going to make me want to give more. Another interesting thing is a lot of research is coming out now that shows that giving makes us happy. And when we spend money on ourselves, we think that makes us happy, but it really doesn't. But helping others and giving to others is what makes us happy. And so that's what we want to tap into. We want to make it easy, fun, and really addictive using social networks, blogs, gamification to really instigate giving on a small scale and make that huge, like it's just never been done before, and tap that market. And that's the basic quick elevator pitch. So do you have any comments or questions?
Well, one thing that came to mind as you were talking about was that in addition to tapping into the network of the giver and using that to increase the overall volume of donations, is how that also kind of puts the power in the hands of the fundraiser and gives them a sense of ownership over that donation.
And it's funny because one of the slogans we have is power giving.
Yeah, and so if you think about what happens when you become part of a big corporate matching campaign, it's a little more like, well, this money's going to get donated anyway. I'm just getting on board with that. But if you are getting your friends to chip in, you really are increasing the overall pool.
And that's what we want to do. And there's a lot of other fundraising facilitators out there, and they talk about, you know, harnessing the power of the internet and social networks. But it seems like what they're doing, and which isn't nothing against them. I think it's an important thing what they're doing but they're making things more streamlined and efficient. And I think where we're different is we really want to instigate greater giving on a greater small scale giving.
So it's not just making the network more efficient, but increasing the size.
Increasing the size, and you know, giving anybody the chance to, you know, double or more the amount that's going to their favorite cause.
Well, I think it's a great idea. The interesting thing about our organization is we're not very donation driven, because volunteering and donations aren't really they don't typically go together. We do have a small bit of revenue from donations, and we actually, our bigger connection to giving is donations to the nonprofits who use our service. So that might be an avenue this product could work in our service.
Well, so you might not be a potential direct customer for us, but you know, this gives me another idea of what about being a partner?
Yeah.
Because you know, because what I'm thinking is, you know, a lot of people have time, and other people may have money, and so we could kind of you know, the idea of cross-pollination. Maybe there's a situation where, you know, some people might want to give to a matching fund, but they can't, and we might be able to figure out a way or a channel that we can say, hey, check out Volunteer Match.
Yeah.
You know, and at the same token, maybe there's a thing where it's like, I don't have any time.
Yeah.
But you know what, I have some dollars to give, and you say, well, if you want to give dollars, here's a way to double those dollars, possibly, that you can give, and here's an organization that helps. Because I think what you do kind of is similar to what you help nonprofits. You're a nonprofit, but you help other nonprofits.
Right.
And we plan to be helping nonprofits. So, and we're both on two different, your time and more money, sort of. So maybe that's something good.
And a dirty secret about volunteering, the reason that a lot of nonprofits engage and recruit volunteers is sometimes as a fundraising channel. So they're really not as separate as.
Okay, so they're using the volunteers for fundraising events and.
It's like raising awareness about the work that the organization's doing. So.
Okay, and that's another thing we'd like to do too. I think that's an important point is that by somebody starting a matching fund and promoting the charity of their choice, that they are educating people about that charity and that cause.
Yeah. So I think the potential for an organization like ours probably isn't for our own fundraising, but it's a good match, I think, for you to consider organizations like ours that are kind of a platform for nonprofit services, where you have a lot of nonprofits already using the service, getting access to that channel, because a lot of these kinds of services die on the vine because nobody comes to them. It's really hard to get the word out. It's hard to get nonprofits to switch from some other system. So I think that using services like FundMatchr, where there's already a pool of 90,000 nonprofits participating,
wow,
would be there's other organizations that have similar scale to their networks, but yeah.
Okay, well, it'd be great, investigating any type of partnership that could be created there. And
I don't get signed partnership deals.
Well, but
just give me the certified.
That's okay. At least you give me lots of great information and food to think about. And if you could, take a look at what we put together here, and there's a short survey in the back that asks a few questions, and lots of them I already know the answers to just from talking to you. But thank you for your time, and thank you for letting us videotape you tonight.
Sure.
And great. Hopefully we can work together in the future. Yeah. Bob.
Oh, Bob. Thank you.
And Zeph Harden from FundMatchr.org. Thank you, Zeph.